OTT is brought to you by GoToMeeting. Go over to GoToMeeting.com. Click the Try It Free Now button and enter in your code PODCAST. It's for your Mac, it's for your PC, it's for your iPad, and it's a great way to meet with people across the nation at a moment's notice. Just go over to GoToMeeting.com, go over to the Try It Free Now button, and remember to enter in that code PODCAST for a 30-day free trial.
All right, welcome to the OTT. Jeffrey Powers, we're here at Blog World New Media Expo. I'm here with Jamie Davis of the ProMed Network. How you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I saw your session. You guys, Mike Rotman, and Paul Colligan did a session on set-top boxes, cutting the cord, and all that good stuff. And there was a lot of cool takeaways out of it, and basically, why are we paying $70 a month to do that? Mike talked about paying $70 a month just to get one channel. Yeah, I take it you've cut your cord.
Well, actually, I have satellite primarily because I have kids that are still watching, the channels like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel and stuff like that, and things that we're not just going to get in other resources. But primarily, my wife and I are viewing via our over-the-top TV devices. We're watching Netflix. We don't very rare, we're watching something we've gotten through Apple TV, and we very rarely watch live television ever. So even stuff that we might record on a DVR, we're watching it days and days, maybe sometimes weeks later. So I think that the traditional model is really breaking down for how people consume television. It's one of the reasons I'm really excited about some of the things we're doing at ProMed Network and our partners with Raw Voice and some of the other networks that they're working with these channels on these devices like the Roku box, and hopefully coming up soon, we'll have looking at maybe having something available in places on other devices, Boxy and Samsung and other things that are on the horizon that we just don't know about yet, but we're hoping to continue to expand there because we're seeing a whole new audience. I've been producing shows for 6 years now consistently, and the minute we got onto a device like the Roku, we immediately saw a whole new audience show up. We didn't see drop-off anywhere else. These were new people viewing the shows, and I think you've probably seen similar things.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, why don't you tell really quick people what the ProMed Network is for those who don't know?
So ProMed Network, for ProMedNetwork.com is where you can find us. It's a collection of 45 independently produced programs, audio and video programs, so internet, TV, and radio is what I like to say, primarily for medical professionals and healthcare professionals by healthcare professionals. I'm a paramedic and a nurse. We have physicians, we have psychologists, we have microbiologists and other researchers that are on to talk about their specialized fields. We have 45 programs really targeted at that audience. You want to know about what's going on in virology and research? We have virology programs. We have programs, my 5 shows are primarily around nursing or emergency medical services, but these programs are available and provide an opportunity for people to have that niche content. And really, think about it, I don't care what you're into, that's really where it's heading. If you're a model train enthusiast, there's going to be a time where there will be a model train channel. Yeah.
So what's your favorite set-top box?
Well, right now I'd have to say it's Roku. That's the primary channel we're on right now. I think I really have a preference also. I'm an Apple fanboy, so if you aren't, I'm sorry. But I really like the Apple TV. I like the changes to the new version of the Apple TV, and we're looking forward hopefully soon to have a ProMed channel present there as well and give us a presence in that space. So as things roll out, we'll look at other things, but those are my 2 primaries right now.
Is there any advice you would give somebody that is looking to get into the marketing, getting their show onto a Roku, onto a Boxy, onto set-top boxes like that?
Well, there's a couple of ways you can do that, the easy way and the hard way. I'd say the easiest way is if you have a content that's already being produced or a show that you're getting ready to produce, find somebody that's already on those devices with an existing channel and get on their network. If you've got the Blueberry network as one example for just general information. There's a lot of programs on there, so you're going to be harder to find potentially. If there's a niche network that has a channel, if you're in the healthcare space, contact me. Please, I'll be happy to look at your show. Everything is vetted, so it has to be high quality, it has to be good content and credible content. But if you have a niche area that has a network and a channel, go through them. That's the easiest way. Let them aggregate your RSS feed, your content. Blip.tv is a good way to do it. It's a hidden, it's one of those secrets for video producers on the web. If you're not paying $99 a year for a Blip.tv account, pro account, you're really, it's cheap. And what you get for that. And they have access to all those devices. Again, you're buried deep, so it's harder to find your content on those devices, on those channels in many cases, but it is a way to get in. Now, the hard way is hire somebody to develop an application for you. Just understand that every one of these new boxes has a different code, a different requirement, so you're going to have to redesign or redevelop your app in some cases from the ground up.
And in other cases, some of these boxes are going to turn you down because you're not with a group of networks or anything like that.
Yeah, and we've heard from some of the people producing Google and I think Samsung have all said we are not going to go the route of the iTunes App Store where there are 8 million, and I'm using that number facetiously, but there are every show has their own app. They've already said they're not going to do that. They're going to want to look at content aggregators and bring in a collection of programs. That's why I say if you can find a niche that fits into yours, and if not, put together your own niche network. And if you need any help with that, again, I'd be happy to talk to you about what I've done and give you some ideas on how to overcome some of the hurdles. And we have 45 shows. I started with 13 2 years ago. So it's really just a question of reaching out to other people in your space and finding out what that niche is. So if someone else isn't doing it, do it yourself.
Speaking of which, you're doing ProMed. Is there any show that's not out there just yet, out on the new space, that you would like to see?
You mean on the ProMed network or on in general?
Model railroading, scuba diving, anything.
I think there needs to be. I think we're looking for more fictional content. I mean, maybe it's just because this is what I consume. I see a lot of shows like yours and like mine that are talking about current events, news, talking about, the so-called nonfiction environment. But what about some narrative, fun content? And there are some people that are doing some of that, but I'd love to see, just in my space, I'd love to see some people, do a little bit of sketch comedy in a niche environment. There are things that we all laugh about in our hobbies that only somebody in the hobby would get. Yeah. The advantage of that is they'll really get it. Everyone else will be scratching their heads, but the people who know that hobby will get it. So if there's a model railroaders joke, and you can do it, well, then you can come up with some of those things. It might be an interesting take on that. So I'd like to see some more. Let's show Hollywood that we can create stuff that's just as good, as or better than what they're doing, every week on Saturday Night Live, for instance.
What's your favorite show to watch other than the ProMed Network and my show?
Well, I think one of the shows I actually catch quite a bit, I always try to get a chance to watch Todd Cochran's Geek News Central. Keeps me up to date. Because I'm interested in tech and things, I also always try to catch the video versions of This Week in Tech with Leo Laporte. And also, I'm a big fan of Mac Break Weekly. If you have a Mac, it keeps you up to date with what's going on in the Mac space. And Adam Christensen's MacCast, which is the first podcast I listened to, and I still listen to it today. And he's got a great show, and I just, I modeled some aspects of my original show after his program. So Adam Christensen's The MacCast is also a good show.
So that would be your hidden gem?
Yeah, that's a hidden gem. I think the hidden gem is The MacCast. It's still out there. He's been doing his show probably going on 7 years now. And just a great little tips and ideas, looking at news, looking at what's changed, operating system ideas and tips for new, old, and existing users.
So yeah, let's say I'm a doctor or a nurse and I want to create a show. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, you can reach me on Twitter. I'm at Podmedic, Podmedic. You can also reach me on my email address, podmedic@mac.com. And you can go over to ProMed Network and submit your show. Just sign up for a free account there, and then there's a link right on the front page after you sign up that says submit your show, and you can submit it right there.
And that's at ProMed.com?
ProMedNetwork.com.
ProMedNetwork.com. There you have it. If you're interested in the medical field, you should check out ProMed Network, definitely. But check out everything on the OTT space, and check out all the shows over there. Thank you very much, Jamie.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Appreciate it.
For the OTT, this is Jeffrey Powers.